Hello everyone. So in this lecture I am going to discuss various types of relations. So let us begin with the types of relations. So in the last lecture we discussed the operations of relations. Now we'll see the types of relation, and that is very important topic we can see. So types of relation is important. So we'll see one by one what are the types of relation. Okay. So we can say that various types of relations are there. First one we can say that reflexive relation is there. Next one we can say that next one is irreflexive relation. Irreflexive relation. Next one, third one is symmetric relation. Fourth one is antisymmetric relation. And fifth one is asymmetric relation. And sixth one is transitive relation. And seventh one is equivalence relation. And eighth one we can say that is partial order relation. So we'll see one by one each and every one. Okay. So we'll see these are very important also, we can say that. Okay. So I'm going to start with first one, that is reflexive relation. So what is a reflexive relation? First one is reflexive relation. Reflexive relation. So we can say that a relation capital R on set A, we can say that is called reflexive relation if and only if we can say that for every x belongs to set A, x comma x belongs to relation R, isn't it? That means for every element inside set A, we can say that yes, x comma x must belongs to the relation R. So that is, we can say that for every x, yes, belongs to set A, x must be related with x only. For example, let's say set A is given to you, let's say 1, 2, 3. Then let us consider one relation on A, let's say that is 1 comma 1, then 2 comma 2, then 3 comma 3, and 3 comma 3, and let's say this one. So we can say that this relation is what? Reflexive, because here we can say that every element inside A is related with itself, isn't it? That is the definition of reflexive relation. So let us take one more relation also. Yes, we can say that, let's say 1 1, yes, 2 2, then 3 3, and 3 2. Yes, this is also, we can say that, reflexive relation. Yes or no? Yes. Why? Because the definition says that for every element belongs to A, for every x belongs to set A, x must be related with x. Here we can say that yes, 1 is related with 1, 2 is related with 2, 3 is related with 3. We can say that these ordered pairs, and these are also known as self loops. If we draw the diagram of this particular relation, then we can say that at every node there will be a self loop. So self loops are compulsory. Other than these self loops, more ordered pairs can be inside the relation or not, doesn't matter, isn't it? But these are compulsory, isn't it? We can say that 1 1 2 2 3 3. This type of self loop means for every element x belongs to A, x must be related with x. Other than these ordered pairs, more number of ordered pairs can be inside the relation, or there won't be any problem if these are not there, isn't it? Okay. But this is required. That means self loops are compulsory, isn't it? Okay. So we can write down one note. Yes, we can say that. Yes, you only tell me if a relation is, you only tell me if a relation is reflexive. Let's say on set A, let's say this is set A 1 2 3. So guaranteed we can say that in the matrix representation of reflexive relation, yes, diagonal elements will be all ones. Yes or no? Because 1 1 is present, 2 2 is present, 3 3 is present. Other than these ordered pairs, the remaining ordered pairs can be either in the relation or not in the relation. No need to worry at all, isn't it? But these are compulsory, these are required, isn't it? So we can write down first point, the matrix representation. We can say that the matrix representation of reflexive relation contains ones at all the diagonal positions, all the diagonal positions, isn't it? Also, we can say that if we make the digraph, then guaranteed at every node there will be a self loop, isn't it? So we can say that the digraph of a reflexive relation, the digraph of a reflexive relation contains self loops at every node, isn't it? Now you only tell me, let us consider one reflexive relation. Let's say one relation on A is, let's say this one, 1 1, 1 2, then 2 2, then 3 3, and let's say 3 2. Yes, we can say that this is a reflexive relation. So you can see various reflexive relations can be possible for any, yes, we can say that set A, isn't it? So we can say that one reflexive relation is this one. Now you only tell me, if we take the inverse of this relation, then it becomes 1 1, 1 2 becomes 2 1, and 2 2 becomes 2 2 only, 3 3 remains 3 3 only, and 3 2 becomes 2 comma 3. Yes or no? So we can say that if R is reflexive, then R inverse is also reflexive. Yes or no? Because self loops, so when we flip the x and y, then in case of self loops, we can say that there won't be any change. 1 comma 1 will remain 1 1 only, 2 comma 2 will remain 2 2 only, and 3 comma 3 will remain 3 3 only. So we can say that if a relation R is reflexive, then R inverse will also be reflexive. And in a reverse manner also, conversely, we can say that if R inverse is reflexive, then guaranteed R is also reflexive. Isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. So we can write down third statement. Yes, R is reflexive. Any relation R is reflexive if and only if R inverse is reflexive. So we can say that if and only if means bidirectional, biconditional, isn't it? Both ways, means left to right as well as right to left. That means if R is reflexive, then R inverse will reflexive, and if R inverse is reflexive, then R will also be reflexive, isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. Now you only tell me, let's say one set is given to you 1 2 3, and one relation is on set A, let's say 5, isn't it? Whether this relation is reflexive or not reflexive. Why? Because for every A, yes, we can say that yes, there are no self loops, isn't it? That's why we can say that this is not reflexive. But you can raise one query, that's if A is itself empty, then R equals to empty. This one is reflexive or not? No, because in the, yes, we can say that definition of relations, I told you guys that yes, this set A must be non-empty set, then only relations will exist, otherwise there is no existence of relations, isn't it? So given set cannot be empty for the existence of any relation, so that is not allowed. So we can say that here set A will be non-empty set, and if A is non-empty set, then we can say that yes, phi or empty relation cannot be, yes, reflexive. So write down one note, and that is very very important, or that is the fourth point of the note, that is very very important. Yes, we can say that an empty relation cannot be a reflexive relation, isn't it? So moving to the next type, that is our irreflexive relation. Second kind, we can say that that is irreflexive relation. So a relation, we can say that capital R on a set capital A is called irreflexive if and only if for every x belongs to set A, x comma a, x does not belongs to relation R. That is, we can say that for every x belongs to set A, x is not related to x. That is the definition of, we can say that, irreflexive. That means here no self loop is allowed, isn't it? For every x belongs to A, x comma x is, yes, we can say that not allowed inside the relation R. So we can say that here no self loop is allowed, strictly no self loop. Even one self loop is not allowed, isn't it? So we can say that, let's say 1 comma 2, let's say one relation 2 comma 3 and 1 comma 3. Let's say this is a relation on A and set A is given to you 1, 2, 3. And we can say that yes, this relation is irreflexive relation. But remember, let us consider one more example. Let's say R2. Yes, 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 3. Yes, this one is not a irreflexive. This is not irreflexive. Why? Because here one self loop is there. 1 comma 1, that is not allowed inside any irreflexive relation. So we can say that this one is not an irreflexive relation. Now you only tell me, if self loops are not allowed, then you only tell me, if we represent the irreflexive relation in the matrix representation, then you can say that all diagonal elements will be zeros only. Yes or no? Yes, these are zeros only, and other than these ordered pairs, we can say that anything, yes, could be inside the irreflexive relation. But this is guaranteed that all diagonal elements will be zeros. No diagonal element is allowed inside the irreflexive relation, isn't it? Similarly, we can say that the digraph of irreflexive relation doesn't have any self loop, isn't it? Now you only tell me, yes, if we can say that, yes, next point, you only tell me, yes, if on set A, if I write an relation, let's say R3, that is phi. Now you only tell me whether this one is irreflexive relation or not. Yes, this one is irreflexive because, yes, the condition, or we can say that definition says that for every x, x comma x must not belongs to relation R. Yes, here we can say that neither 1 1 nor 2 2, or we can say that nor 3 3 is present inside this relation. So we can say that every empty relation is, yes, irreflexive relation, isn't it? So you can make the point. First point you can write down inside irreflexive relation. First one, all diagonal elements, all diagonal elements in matrix form are, we can say that, zeros. Second point, you can write digraph of irreflexive relation does not have any self loop, isn't it? Next one and last point is, we can say that R is irreflexive. You only tell me. Yes, we can say that. Let us consider one example. Yes, we can say that. Let's say, yes, set A is this one, and one relation, let's say this relation is irreflexive. 1 comma 2, 2 comma 3, and let's say 1 comma 3. Yes, we know. Yes, this one is irreflexive on set A. On A means A cross A. Now only tell me, if we take the inverse relation, so R inverse becomes what? We can say that 2 comma 1, then 3 comma 2 and 3 comma 1. Now you only tell me whether this one is irreflexive or not. Yes, this one is also irreflexive. That means because inside R there is no self loop, then we can say that in R inverse there won't be any self loop. Similarly, so we can say that if R inverse, or we can say that if R is irreflexive, then R inverse will be irreflexive. And in converse manner also, we can say that if R inverse is irreflexive, then R will also be irreflexive. So we can write down R is irreflexive. R is, we can say that, irreflexive if and only if R inverse is irreflexive. And last point you can make, that one, fourth one, that is, I already told you guys, that is important one also. What is that? Yes, we can say that an empty relation is always irreflexive. Empty relation means phi is always irreflexive. So I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay, so moving to the next one, let us consider one example. Let's say, check true or false. Check true or false. Let's say A, it is given that not reflexive implies, yes, irreflexive. Implies means we can say that if then, that means there is implication. Not reflexive means, yes, not reflexive implies irreflexive. That means this is the implication, and implication is false when left hand side is true and right hand side is false. Next statement is given to you, that is not irreflexive implies reflexive, and third one is reflexive implies not irreflexive, and D, irreflexive implies not reflexive, isn't it? So four statements are given to you. The implication means if left hand, if means if a relation, let's say consider first one, first option or first statement, A, statement number A. So if a relation is not reflexive, then that means that is irreflexive. This statement is false. Why? Because we can say that, let us consider, let's say this is set A and one relation, let's say on A means on A cross A. Let's say one relation is 1 comma 1, then 2 comma 1 and 1 comma 3 on A means on A cross A. Now you only tell me whether this one is not reflexive or not. Yes, this is not reflexive, and we can say that this is not reflexive implies irreflexive. Whether it is irreflexive or not, no, this is not irreflexive also. That's why we can say that statement 1 is false, isn't it? Next one, not irreflexive implies reflexive. This one is also false. Why? Because, yes, consider the same example in which the relation is this one. This is not irreflexive. This is not irreflexive. Yes or no? And this is not reflexive as well. This is not reflexive as well. So we can say that this statement is also false. Then third one is reflexive implies not irreflexive. Yes, this is true. If a relation is reflexive, then guaranteed that won't be irreflexive. And final one is irreflexive implies not reflexive. This one is also true. If a relation, let's say instead of 1 1, let's say this is 1 2. Now consider this relation. Now you only tell me this is irreflexive. That means this is not reflexive. This is not reflexive. So we can say that this statement is also true. I hope this one is clear to everyone. So moving to the next one. Yes, next one is what? So third in the continuation, that is symmetric relation. So yes, a relation capital R on set A is called, we can say that, symmetric relation if x comma y belongs to relation R, then y comma x must belongs to the relation R. That is the definition. If then means there is an implication. So that is, we can say that if x comma y belongs to relation R, then means implication y comma x also belongs to the relation R. That is, we can say that if x is related to y, then y must be related with x, isn't it? So consider one example. Let's say one set is given to you 1, 2, 3, and one relation is given to you. Let's say that is 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1, and 3 comma 3. Yes, this relation, let's say, is on A, or on A means on A cross A. Now you only tell me this one is symmetric or not. Yes, we can say that this one is symmetric because 1 comma 2 is present. So because of 1 comma 2, you can see 2 comma 1 is also present. Yes or no? Next one, 3 comma 3 is present. Yes, 3 comma 3 is also present. So for self loop, we can say that one ordered pair is enough. Yes or no? Because in self loops, we can say that x equals to y, isn't it? So here we can say that yes, this relation is symmetric relation, isn't it? Now you only tell me if this one is symmetric relation. So if we represent this relation in the yes matrix form, so this relation will be what? Symmetric matrix. Yes or no? This matrix will be what? Symmetric matrix. And I hope you know very well what is the meaning of symmetric matrix. Symmetric matrix means we can say that if I comma jth and j comma ith elements are same. Yes or no? So we can say that this is 2 comma 1. So we can say that 1 comma 2 is also 1. Yes or no? Isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. So these type of matrices are, we can say that, symmetric matrices. So symmetric matrices means, yes, matrix, we can say that element I comma jth element is equals to j comma ith element, isn't it? So for a symmetric relation, the matrix will be what? Symmetric matrix, isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. So next one, yes, let us consider one more relation. Let's say this is R1, and one more relation, let's say that is R2, and R2 is empty relation. Now you only tell me whether this relation is symmetric or not. Yes. Why? Because here the definition says that if x comma y is present, then y comma x must also be present. But if yes, x comma y is not present, then there is no problem, isn't it? Because this is if then, and if left hand side is false in implication, then entire implication is true only, isn't it? Okay. So we can say that empty relation is also, yes, symmetric relation. So write down this one. So make a note of this one. First one, the matrix of symmetric relation will be symmetric matrix. And symmetric matrix means we can say that I comma jth element is equals to j comma eth element, or we can say that transpose of that matrix will be equal to the, yes, same matrix, isn't it? So if we find the transpose of any matrix in a symmetric matrix, then the same matrix will be the resultant matrix, isn't it? Next point you can write down. Let us consider one, let's say 1, 2, 3. This is the set, and one symmetric relation is there. Let's say 1, 2, and 2 comma 1, and let's say 2 comma 2. Now we can say that, let's say this is the, yes, we can say that, yes, this one is symmetric relation. So if it is symmetric relation, then if we find out the R inverse, then R inverse will also be the symmetric or not? Yes, this one is also symmetric. You can see easily. Yes, here 2 comma 1 is present, so 1 comma 2 is also present, and 2 comma 2 self loop, there won't be any problem because x equals to y, isn't it? So we can say that if R is symmetric, then R inverse also is symmetric, and if R inverse is symmetric, then R is also symmetric. So you can make the second point in the note, that is relation R is symmetric if and only if R inverse is symmetric. Third one, yes, a relation R is symmetric. Also, a relation R is symmetric if and only if R equals to R inverse. Yes or no? Because we can say that if r equals to r inverse. Why? Because we can say that, let's say if any relation r is given to you and then that is symmetric, we can say that if it is, yes, we can say that its inverse is also equals to same relation. Yes or no? Okay. Next point we can make, last one, an empty relation is always symmetric. An empty relation is always symmetric. Okay. So we can say that that's all about the symmetric relation. And next one in the continuation, that is anti-symmetric relation. Anti-symmetric relation. So a relation capital R on a set A is called anti-symmetric relation if X is related to Y, then Y is related to X unless X equals to Y. So we can say that a relation R on set A is called antisymmetric. So if X is the related to Y, then Y must not be related with X. That is the definition of antisymmetric. Means if XY is present, then Y comma X must not be present unless X equals to Y, means except X equals to Y. So X equals to Y, then we can say that that is allowed. So we can say that in the antisymmetric relation, yes, self loops are allowed. Otherwise, if X is not equals to Y and if X is related to Y, then Y must not be related to X, isn't it? Okay. So yes, in other words, we can say that this can be written as X related to Y. If X is related to Y, then means implication. If then means implication, then Y must not be related with X unless X equals to Y, isn't it? Okay. So that is the definition of antisymmetric. So let us consider one example. Let's say one set is given 1 2 3 and one relation is given. Let's say 1 1, self loops are allowed, no problem at all. 2 comma 3 and 1 comma 3. So we can say that here 2 comma 3 is present, so 3 comma 2 must not be present. So here 3 comma 2 is not there, so no problem. Here also we can say that 1 comma 3 is present, so 3 comma 1 must not be present, and here we can see 3 comma 1 is not present, isn't it? So because of that, we can say that this relation is what? We can say that this relation is antisymmetric. Yes or no? This relation is antisymmetric. So let us consider, yes, diagram of this particular relation. So if we assume the matrix representation of this relation. Now you only tell me, yes, let's say these are the nodes 1 2 3, isn't it? So now you only tell me 1 1 is present, 2 3 is present, and 1 3 is present. Other than that, everything is 0. Now you only tell me, yes, you only tell me here if 2 3 is present, then guaranteed, yes, 1 3 comma 1 must not be present. So we can say that, yes, let's say, yes, if 3 or 1 comma 3 is present, then 3 comma 1 must not be present. Yes, no problem at all. And there is no restrictions on the self loops. These are allowed. We can say that these are allowed, isn't it? There is no restriction. Now you only tell me, if we assume the diagonal element as a mirror, then we can say that at off diagonal position, if there is one, we can say that is there an entry that is 1. So the mirror image of that particular entry will contain 0, isn't it? Yes or no? So we can say that at any off diagonal, if any off diagonal element is 1, then the mirror image element will be 0. Guaranteed that will be 0. Yes or no? Because 3 comma 1 is present, or we can say that if 1 comma 3 is present, then 3 comma 1 must not be allowed. Yes or no? So we can say that, and the image of 3 comma 1 will be 1 comma 3 if we assume the diagonal elements as a mirror. Yes or no? So wherever in the off diagonal element, if there is 1, then guaranteed in the mirror image there will be 0. That is the point, isn't it? One more thing you can see, if R is antisymmetric, then guaranteed if we take the inverse of this relation, then that inverse will also be antisymmetric or not? Yes. Similarly, so we can say that one we can make one point. If R is antisymmetric, then R inverse will also be antisymmetric, and conversely also we can say that if R inverse is antisymmetric, then R is also antisymmetric, isn't it? Next one, let us consider one more relation on the same set A. Let's say phi. You only tell me this one is antisymmetric or not. Yes, this is antisymmetric because the definition says that if x is related to y, then y must not be related with x unless x equals to y. But if x comma y is not there, then there won't be any problem, isn't it? So if left hand side is false in the implication, then entire implication or the truth value of entire implication will be true only. So yes, we can say that empty relation is always anti-symmetric, isn't it? Next one. So you can write down these points. So write down one note and make a note of all these points. First one, a relation R is anti-symmetric if and only if R inverse is anti-symmetric. Next, second point, self loops may or may not be present. There won't be any restriction. There is no restriction, so we can say that self loops means diagonal elements may occur in the diagram of antisymmetric relation. Next one, the matrix of an antisymmetric relation will have a 0 in the mirror image position using diagonal as a mirror, for everyone in the off diagonal, isn't it? And last one, last point you can make, that is an empty relation is always anti-symmetric. So these are the points we can say that regarding anti-symmetric relation. So in the continuation, next one is asymmetric relation. That is fifth one, that is asymmetric relation. So a relation capital R on a set capital A, let's say, is an asymmetric relation if x comma y belongs to relation R, then y comma x does not belongs to relation R. That means if x comma y is present, then y comma x must not be present here. Yes, the difference between antisymmetric and asymmetric is only what? Here, yes, self loops are also not allowed. That is one small difference between antisymmetric and asymmetric. In the definition of antisymmetric, yes, it was written that x comma y belongs to relation R, then y comma x must not belongs to relation R unless x equals to y. That means in that particular case, x comma y is allowed, but here it is not allowed, isn't it? So yes, let us consider one example. Let's say one set A is given to you, that is 1, 2, 3, and one relation is given, let's say 1, 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 1. So we can say that yes, this relation is asymmetric or not. Yes, this relation is asymmetric. Why? Because for every ordered pair we can say that if 1 comma 2 is present, then 2 comma 1 must not be present. Yes, 2 comma 1 is not present. If 2 comma 3 is present, then 3 comma 2 must not be present. And if 3 comma 1 is present, then 1 comma 3 must not be present. So I hope yes, it is clear to everyone that is asymmetric, isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay, so moving to the next one, you only tell me if we draw the or we represent this relation in the matrix representation, now you only tell me 1 2 3 there are, yes, 1 2 3 there are, we can say that there are three elements inside set A. Now you only tell me here self loops are not allowed, so strictly we can say that here all diagonal elements will be all zero, isn't it? And let's say here 1 comma 2 is present, and then 2 comma 3 is present, and 3 comma 1 is present, isn't it? So we can say that if we treat the diagonal elements as a mirror, then we can say that if at off diagonal element there is 1, then the at corresponding position at mirror image there will be guaranteed 0, because 3 comma 1 is present, then 1 comma 3 must not be present, isn't it? Similarly you can see 1 comma 2 is present, so 2 comma 1 must not be present, so here we can say that there is 0, isn't it? Okay, so we can say that at off diagonal elements, if we consider the mirror images of each other, so at both places we can say that there could be, yes, zeros, no problem, both are not in the relation. But if anyone is present, any off diagonal is present inside the relation, that the mirror image element guaranteed that that element will not be present in the relation, isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay, or we can say that here self loops are also not allowed strictly. Similarly, if this relation is asymmetric, then you can write the inverse of this relation, that will also be the asymmetric, yes or no? So we can make one point, if relation R is asymmetric, then R inverse will also be asymmetric, isn't it? Okay, so write down these points, or you can make the points. So also let us consider one more relation. Let's say R2 on set A, that is empty relation. This one is also asymmetric. Yes, no problem at all. The definition says that if x comma y is present, then y comma x must not be present. So if there is no x comma y, then there won't be any problem, isn't it? Okay. So write down or make one note. Note says that the matrix of an asymmetric relation must have zeros at all diagonal positions. At all diagonal positions. That means there is no self loop. Similarly, we can make one more point, that is whenever a 1 is present at off diagonal, then a 0 must be present at the, then we can say that a 0 must be present at the corresponding mirror image position. Corresponding mirror image position. Third point, we can make a relation R is asymmetric if and only if R inverse is asymmetric. And fourth one, an empty relation is always asymmetric. I hope this one is clear to everyone. So we covered 5 types of relations in this particular lecture. So remaining types of relations we will be covering in the incoming or next coming, we can say that, lectures, isn't it? Okay. I hope this one is clear to everyone. This is very, very important. Yes, in the next topic after the types of relation, we'll see some counting of relations, that is also important. So all these things are very, very important, and guaranteed from this area there will be a question in gate examination, isn't it? Okay, so I hope this one is clear to everyone. So thank you so much guys.